A valid warrant. Here's the Fourth Amendment. No warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and describing with particularity the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Okay, so no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause. First, let's talk about, we're going to divide this into 4 parts. 1, a warrant must be issued by whom? That's right, a neutral and detached magistrate. Can the magistrate get paid per warrant issued? Yes, but they cannot be rubber stamping the police. They actually have to consider what's on the warrant. Neutral and detached magistrate, and we need probable cause. So what's probable cause? Remember, probable cause is objective, a fair probability based on the totality of the circumstances to believe that evidence of a crime or the criminal will be found in the place to be searched, and that is gates. Probable cause is an objectively, what? Fair probability based on what? The totality of the circumstances to believe what? That evidence of the crime or the person themselves will be found in the place to be searched. You need the warrant to be based on probable cause. Objectively fair probability based on the totality of the circumstances to believe that evidence of a crime or a criminal will be found in the place to be searched. And that is what case? Gates. Third part is our oath or affirmation. Remember, an oath or affirmation can be based on the police direct personal knowledge, but that's easy. If we're talking about the bar, we're going to be talking about third-party information. Oath or affirmation based on third-party CI informant information, anonymous tips, etc. Okay, remember, we need to base the oath or affirmation on knowledge. If it's a third party, it has to meet Spinelli. Informant must have veracity, reliability, and a good basis of knowledge. Veracity, reliability, basis of knowledge. That's our standard. So oath or affirmation, the police swears an oath. Direct personal knowledge, too easy. No, we are going to get CI tip information. We need what? 1, veracity, reliability, and 2, the informant's basis of knowledge, Spinelli. Okay, and of course the particularity requirement as to the person or place. Can't be too vague. Remember Grove versus Ramirez. And very importantly, you cannot exceed that's right, scope of the warrant. In other words, you cannot execute an arrest of a person in another person's home, Stiegel versus the United States. Okay, let's talk a little bit more particularly about warrants. How long is a search warrant valid for? 14 days for the date of issue. You've got to execute a search warrant within 14 days from the date of issue. They're only good for how long? 14 days. 14 days. And they have to be executed between the hours of, that's right, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's our general rule. Search warrant, good for 14 days, has to be executed between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. How about an arrest warrant? They never expire, and they can be executed at any time. So search warrant has limitations. 14 days, then your warrant expires, and they have to be executed between 6 and 10 a.m. unless there's some good reason why a judge would say otherwise. Whereas an arrest warrant never expires and can be executed when? Any time. How about the validity of the warrant? Remember, it's based on probable cause. And how do we assess that? Okay, if it's CI information, of course, it's veracity, reliability, and basis of knowledge. But it's also assessed on the basis of what the police knew at the time, the objective knowledge of the police at the time of issue. When did this become important? In Maryland versus Garrison, remember there was a search warrant issued for the entire 3rd floor. What the police didn't know was that there were two apartments on the third floor and one contained Garrison and his drugs. And the court ruled that the validity of the warrant is assessed according to what the police know at the time. Okay, also remember that you can get a search warrant in advance if there's probable cause that some event is going to occur. But remember Siegel versus the United States. Search and arrest warrants are not interchangeable. You can't search the home when the warrant is to arrest a person. You can't arrest person A when they're present in person B's home. Okay, so how long is a search warrant valid for? 14 days. Has to be executed within 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. If we're basing our oath or affirmation on third-party knowledge, the third party has to have, that's right, the Spinelli factors: veracity, reliability, and a good basis of knowledge. Maryland versus Garrison, the validity of the warrant is assessed in light of, that's right, information known to the police at the time of its issue. We didn't know there were two apartments up there. And are search and arrest warrants interchangeable? No. You can't search the whole home where the warrant is to arrest a person. Of course, you can do the protective sweep. We'll talk about that later. You suspect there are other people armed and dangerous hiding out inside. And remember the particularity requirement, meaning that if you are searching for a gun, the search warrant would extend to all places where a gun might be found. Okay, and finally, search and arrest warrants are not interchangeable. You can't search the entire home where the warrant is to arrest a person, and you also can't arrest person A when they're present in person B's home. That's Siegel versus the United States. And that's it for warrants.